2022. I'll have a call to order, please. Alderman Hanson? Here. Alderman Blanton?
Here.
Alderman Brown?
Here.
Alderman Berger? Here. All right, I will move on to approval of the minutes. For consideration of approval of minutes, October 27th, 2022, Capital Investment Committee. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? All right, all in favor? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we'll move to new business consideration. Consideration to grant Stuart Dillon
Hi there. This is for a. This is for a single-family unit equivalent household. They are in the Falcon Creek subdivision. You can see the map up there. Is that better?
It's outside that subdivision.
Yes.
They're not in that subdivision.
It's south
Okay.
of the Falcon Creek subdivision.
Thank you.
Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah. So they've requested a connection to the city sewer in order to renovate their house. They're proposing installing a grinder pump to connect to the Carruthers Glen subdivision. That is in this area to the northeast of their property. That is planned for the two properties across the South Carruthers and adjacent to Falcon Creek. The subdivision requested for connection is not yet constructed, and a timeline for construction is available at this point. So we are, the applicant is requesting approval. We are via a grinder pump. The water department is requesting approval via extension of the gravity main.
So in other words, you're saying it's not ready yet, but we need to wait until across the street is developed?
No, so the applicant is requesting to connect to the subdivision across the street via a grinder pump. That's not been constructed yet, correct? We are requesting extension of the gravity main, the green, to the edge of their property, typical as we do for any other connection, when we approve availability.
What's the implication of that? I understand, fire company not being ideal for our system, but it's curious.
So the grinder pump involves under the street, and it becomes our maintenance. It's not typical. There's a lot of issues that potentially we have a lot of valves that could break on a grinder, a whole force main system that causes to have an overflow for something that wouldn't happen with it's just a singular gravity main. So we have to replace them quite a bit because it's a pump that's used potentially 24 hours a day.
So, the times when we have used a grinder pump, it's rare, but when we use it, it's been when we're dealing with certain topography issue. Something that is difficult
Yeah.
to overcome, and
Like
it's just the most,
yeah.
it's the most cost-effective way, and it's very difficult to use gravity, but we can use gravity for the right because it's the most efficient way.
Right.
You're not relying on a mechanical system, you're relying on gravity, which is always there. So, that helps,
So the grades for this work, so typically Eric was talking about how we use a grinder system when the grades don't allow for gravity flow. The grades for this work back to the connection to the sewer main. There's also the other implication of the subdivision that's not yet constructed yet. So it's
That just got an extension on their entitlement, correct? If it's right. Yeah, like last meeting.
Yeah, I think
it's
that was the one
these
we
two
just did.
parcels right here. And can you
Remember the
see?
long strip of
Yeah, there it goes. It's the
that
purple.
Yeah.
backs up to Falcon Creek, and we're not making them connect.
Yeah.
On the other side to Cross Creek. Yes.
That's where they're, okay.
So
They have
the-
to run
so-
all the way there, or they just run into the.
Put your mic on. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's right. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I didn't
where's the
quite.
connection?
Yeah,
Show the
where's the
connection
connection?
on the map, right there, the green line, right?
This green line right here.
We usually have a motion, but because
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm not gonna take the motion right now because there's a lot of questions here, so I'm not sure what the motion will be. So let's just go ahead and have the discussion real quick.
This is the
And we'll
red.
have additional discussion.
So so this connection right through here is the connection that the Falcon Creek, or I'm sorry, the new subdivision will be connected to.
Okay.
And that's what he wants to connect to their system to hook to that.
Could it convert to gravity?
Could his system?
Yeah.
Well, if he were to lay his system, it probably will be too shallow and not at a grade to account for the gravity.
Let me just.
I think the applicant is here too, if they wanted
Okay,
to
let
say
me just
something
clear
as well.
something up here logistically. Normally we take a motion and a second and have a discussion, but I don't want to have anyone into a motion, because if you make a motion to approve, you have to go forward. I just want to make sure we're clear on what we're voting for, what we're making a motion to, so I'm just going to go ahead with the discussion now. So Michelle, what else do you want to say on that?
No,
Do we have any other?
I don't have anything else to say now.
What, I guess my only question, just given how far that's gotta go, it's a single family home, I have to imagine that the cost to do that would be prohibitive to you doing it. So we could grant this, but my guess is this isn't a path. Right? I mean, what is the cost of run us through?
You have the cost.
Well,
You haven't talked this week, next second.
why don't the applicants come
Sure.
up? Why don't you come up? Are you all the applicants? Yeah, come on up. And just have a seat, and if you go to speak, and turn the mic on, you push the button. So we were just talking about cost.
I do have a cost estimate prepared. It's in my email, which I had closed,
Alright.
so give me just a minute to pull it up.
Can you give us your names? Paul and Nicole Russell. Okay.
I mean, I think, you know, the estimate that we received from Infinity Hill was $250,000 to $350,000 for this gravity extension. I think, you know, when I looked up grinder pumps, they were $5,500, so it's
Yeah.
you know, about 50 times more expensive for this gravity plant.
And this property, just to clarify, is completely in the city limits right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you're in the city, we are charged to provide sewer to you.
So currently, right now, there are no easements for crossing underneath South Crothers Road or into the subdivision as well. So that's another issue that we, you know, don't feel like it's our, it's not ours to obtain for those easements.
One of the problems that I've had, like, you know, look at the Franklin Code. Franklin Code is clear on grinder pumps should be allowed if they're inconvenient, practical to install gravity fed. And like the notes that I've received back from the super department are, instead of using that impractical standard, it's been an impossibility standard. And it's like, it is possible to install gravity fed, therefore you have to install gravity fed. And I don't think respectfully that like the right standard is being applied. Because it's literally 50 times more expensive to install
Well,
gravity fed.
So just the grinder pump may be $5,500, but you would also be responsible for the bore underneath the road and the connection to the sewer system, which is going to add to that cost. And I don't know what those costs would be at this moment.
And that's why we wanted it, and so we are having to give up part of our property for the road widening for this Brothers Glen project. So South Brothers Road is turning it from 2 lanes to 3 lanes. And so that's why we wanted to do this now, so we've spoken with the developer of Brothers Glen, who's willing to run those pipes while they're doing the widening of the road.
So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and cost is a factor, but we also want to be clear, where we can do gravity, we really try to, because it's the most sustainable way to run a system. So your point is still valid, but I want to be clear, it's not that we say it's gravity at all costs, but it is clearly preferred. And we want to weigh off the offsets or the pros and cons related to that, but there's just a more sustainable and it's a sounder way to run it than relying on a mechanical system. So that's the way we look at it. It's not never, but it should be the exception, and the reason should be clear.
Can I ask a question?
And affordability can be a factor, but there are other things we look at too. So just
Can I ask, I'm sorry, I already forgot your name, so I apologize.
Paul.
Nicole. What is your timeline? Because I think to me that's a really big piece of information to know, because if your timeline is immediate, you're not going to be able to get what you need from the developer to pay their portion. or whatever, when they're talking about losing part of your road frontage and they're gonna help you with that cost. To me, our conversation might be totally different if we have a timeline. Because they just, correct me if I'm wrong, they just extended their entitlements for a couple,
2 years.
2 years.
vesting, yeah.
so they're not even, I mean, they've got that long before they are able to, break ground and,
Yeah, we
not,
don't know when
not
that window.
complete,
Yeah.
but even begin, if I'm not mistaken.
Have you talked to them about a timeline?
And I think your options will be,
We loved it because we were young, we got the house, and we have 3 acres
You're still young.
there. And sorry, we have 3 acres there. And so if we could expand upon the home with our boys that are 8
Sure.
and 9, and we
hard
just had
to
Mabel
raise.
that's 7 months, so we're not like we have to get this done right now, but we want to have options to be
you
able
wanna
to
be
stay
able to
there.
plan.
Yeah.
Right, and I
the price
understand
of
that.
the house. It's hard.
I think
Yeah,
ultimately
we
Lance's
yeah.
point,
Where,
though,
where
is-
would we go if we sold it? Yeah, it's like
So I think ultimately Lance's point is you may have better options may be clearer or even better
As you get closer
As
to
you
across
get
the
closer
street
to them
development.
actually being closer to development.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at with
Yeah.
Michelle is if they tied into the new development, which is closer, is that a less costly option, or is there even a way to kind of bridge that between where they are now to when that development can happen? Do we know that?
Via a grinder system or?
Or not, or be prepared to go to gravity when that other development. I don't know what your time frame is in terms of your own septic now.
yes.
What's the lifespan of your septic system and your desire to expand? Is there a timing issue there? And how does that sync up with when we could reasonably expect potentially the development across the street to come on? Because could that give you a less expensive gravity option? I just don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think, like, paying $350,000 to extend the grant, like, it's not an option.
Okay.
So like that's
Yeah.
like what we would want, I guess, whenever. I mean, speaking with the developer, it sounded like it was gonna be much quicker than waiting 2 years. but-
I think that's a standard like extension, you know what I mean, kind of to cover his.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know life happens really quickly sometimes. Things, pandemics happen, you know those kind of things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
planets fall from the sky. Whatever.
So if he indicated that he was gonna be getting started very quickly on that road
Who's the
widening.
developer down there? you know?
It's Jeremy, I don't know the name of his company, Jeremy Bosniak. or
Okay, so, oh, yeah, he was in.
BOZ, something.
Right, so you're in contact with him and talking with him about this and,
And he's using the same civil sub, so we're surrounded by Lockwood Glen on the backside.
Yeah.
So it's the same civil sub, we had, some runoff issues during that construction, and so I met that civil sub, he's a nice guy, but, so yeah, it's just, like, we're in contact with both of those.
So I would be more inclined to make a motion to approve sewer availability if we had more concrete information about the timeline for what's going on across the street. I don't know if you deny this, what the rules are of how soon they can come back. To me, I think I would rather make a motion to defer. And maybe you guys come back after talking to Mr. Jeremy. So we have a little bit more information because we all want you to get what you want and resume your investment in the 3 acres, and we love that you're wanting to stay there. I just think we don't have enough information, and I don't want to say yes or no to you one way or the other, because then you're like, well, what do we do now? So, I think the climate that you can tell is we want to help you, but we also want to stay with our standards. And our standard's $350,000 out of your pocket, and that's not fair.
I have a question.
Alderman Hill.
So what is your current perk on your septic?
I think it's 4 bedrooms, and that's what we have now. I'd say one of the problems that we ran into is that, like, because of the COVID, and, like, we're working from home more, and like home offices count as bedrooms for
And
septic
this
purposes.
is a 1970s ranch home, so what you would consider a bedroom these days is not, like, what they consider a bedroom in this home is not something that would There's some rooms that don't have closets that they consider a bedroom.
Really? How do you do
Wow,
that?
really?
I think you have to have a closet to
Be a
be
bedroom.
considered a bedroom.
I saw
It's the
5-bedroom
opening
homes that are really
space.
perked for
It's-
3, but they
we-
call that an office and a bonus room or a craft room, and they don't count. So that's why I was asking, like, is it an older septic kind of end of life type of thing?
They said the doorway
Or,
entry is what,
I'm not
Just-
sure, it existed whenever. we
or
moved
is it
there.
located where you were going to expand and then you'd be on your
Oh,
fields
yeah,
and?
that would be, we would have to, like, that is where we would have to expand.
But I agree with Alderman Blanton that until we have more information, I
And
mean,
maybe
we're
the
not saying
prices will go
no,
down.
it's just,
I'd say make that motion. I
All
think
right,
So I'm gonna do we need to make it date specific?
yeah, yeah, you do.
So I'm gonna say, let me look at my handy dandy calendar.
I was gonna say.
Excuse
I was gonna
me?
ask you
It's a
that.
committee, I'm not sure we have this.
Angie's
Well,
the,
no. We do need to defer.
okay, I'm gonna make a motion to defer
We do need to
until
give it some, yeah.
February.
Is that good? Is that-
February CIC,
Could do January, but February is.
I wanna give you a little bit more time, people don't move on the holidays. So I would say
Is that all right?
February 23rd should be our CIC meeting.
All right.
And I'll get a second and I'll keep on.
Seconded.
And then
Okay.
that'll give you time to talk to the developer across the street. It'll give us a little bit of time to figure out what's what.
So the motion is deferred to February 23rd. For the second, all right, all in favor, Alderman Hanson?
yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger, yes. 4-0. All right,
Good. Thanks for being
thank
here.
you, Russell.
So have a good
Thank you.
Christmas and we'll dream about your expansion after the new year.
Appreciate you being here. Yep. All right, we're moving on to number 3, item new business, consideration to deny sewer availability at 3978 East McEwen.
Move for approval?
Second?
All right, and do we want to have a report on that?
So this is,
sorry.
this property is,
You got somewhere to be?
Just jumped right in there.
there it
I don't
goes.
know
I
what
was
that's about, but
I was getting all
we're
prepared and it was
Necessary.
crazy.
have to vote for this now, Matt.
All right, so this property is located outside the city limits, south of East McEwen and adjacent to Wilson Pike in the Maze Creek subdivision, in the Maze Creek Basin, not subdivision. There's no existing sewer around this area, as Alderman Brown knows.
Yes.
So the property would have to drain over 8.5 miles to a proposed future interceptor that's not, been built yet. The applicant is seeking denial. We are recommending denial.
Is this the Clarks
Um,
down here? Wait a minute, where, no, where are we,
It was so obvious that we were.
Is that
doing
on-
it. I was
Deny,
like-
of
I was
course.
like,
what road is this on?
It's Wilson Pike to the
Oh,
east of the
okay.
property.
So, so you come down to Clovercroft to Wilson, hang a right on Wilson, it's on the left. Is that correct? Going south? Is that correct, south?
It actually has a long driveway off of
Yes.
the Old McEwen. It actually comes off of Old McEwen. It's a really long, that's why the address is off of McEwen Drive. So if you come off the
So-
old McEwen Drive where the old bridge was, that kind of side street there where the old bridge was, it actually parallels.
This makes
Wilson
no
Pike.
sense to me. I don't know where we are. And I know this like the back of my hand, this place.
Do you want to, so I pulled the map up here. I don't know, is that the map you're looking
Okay.
at?
Comes
So here's
down.
here's McEwen, and then you would turn right on Wilson Pike. That's the property, but I think what
Oh.
Andrew, or I'm sorry, Jonathan, I'm sorry, was saying is that there's like that little 90-degree,
It's the old
kind of goes
McEwen Drive.
down, yeah,
Got it.
and that's how to access this.
It's the very last driveway off that roadway.
So we are recommending denial.
Yeah.
This map's not adding up to that map, so it's weird. Okay. All right, got to turn it back around. All right, it's fine. I know where you are. I
Okay.
just want to make sure it wasn't the other. All right, so I have the motion, yeah, in a second, all right. All in favor, Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger, yes. All right, thank you. Passes 4-0. We're moving to item number 4, consideration of resolution 2022-64, resolution authorizing condemnation for the acquisition of property for the South Prong drainage basin 36-inch sanitary sewer improvement project.
So this is a resolution, a condemnation resolution. It's not condemning anything at this point. It's giving us the ability to move forward with that if the negotiations with the property owners fail. So we have, this is kind of our first step before we start those negotiations. And then it just allows us to move quickly and timely if we need to. So this takes a little bit to get filed and to get going. So we kind of start this preemptively. Rather than adding on to that time frame, because this South Prong project is designed and it's ready to go. This year we're acquiring easements, and so it's budgeted for the next fiscal years in the water department's budget.
So we work very hard to try to settle with property owners, but this does provide us with sort of our last resort of, if we aren't successful there, to then go to condemnation, and this is you providing that authorization as we work through that process. So it, as Michelle said, it helps us keep on track with the project if we're not successful there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, where are we? We have a-
Move to approve.
Second?
All right, all in favor, Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger, yes. That's 4-0. All right, we are at number 5, consideration of City of Franklin contract number 2021-0032 with South Star LLC for Liberty Pike widening Carruthers Parkway to east of Knoll Top Lane, water main relocation for the amount not to exceed $348,558.09.
So this is an agreement with a developer. They were widening the road, and our water main was underneath the road that they were widening, and so we are and I can't, words escape me. We have an agreement with the developer to pay for the relocation of that water main.
Mhm. And who's doing the work on that? Do we, or do they?
They are doing the work.
Developers doing the work, and
Okay.
as a utility, we're paying
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
we've been trying to get this
relocation.
done for like 4 years. So glad to see this on the agenda. All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to
moved.
approve. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Second?
Okay. Any discussion? All right, Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger? Yes. Thank you. Passes 4-0. Number 6, consideration of draft City of Franklin contract 2022-0295 with Revere, Control Systems, Inc. I just went off sorry about that. Let me go back up here and see if I can read it. Control Systems, Inc. for system coverage of SCADA.
SCADA.
I'm sorry, SCADA improvements.
We should have
This keeps
spelled that
flickering.
acronym out.
Okay, go ahead.
So SCADA is our
Right.
distribution and collection system-wide computer monitoring program that we use. It's the platform where we can, instead of having, someone physically go out to pump stations
Yep.
or, different water tanks, we have all that information kind of into one computer screen. It helps us be more efficient. But with that, we sometimes, with storms and with other just equipment malfunctions, we need to reestablish those communications. Revere was the initial integrator who performed that work, and so this is just the on-call contract with them. This was budgeted in our general operations budget. It's split between both our sewer collection and our water distribution fund. I think I have that in the financial impact. So we usually split out the invoices that we get from them
Okay.
accordingly.
Great. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? All right, Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger, yes. All right, thank you very much. Number 7, consideration of draft City of Franklin contract 2022-0303 with CNT Engineering and Inspection for the water treatment valve access improvement project construction service for an amount not to exceed $198,165.
So this is a project that we've designing that you'll see coming through the bid award. Actually just was opened up this afternoon. We are designing kind of what we're calling it a mezzanine in our water plant. We have some valves that are too high. For those of y'all who've taken a tour of the water plant, we have our GACs, and then on top of the GACs are the lines that feed those. We have valves that we cannot access right now. So some of those valves are controlled by SCADA, what you just approved, and we've lost that communication, and so we can't actually backwash one of our GACs right now. There's a couple valves that are leaking that we can't really access right now. So this the cost estimate, or the bid that just came in actually came in lower than we anticipated. And so this is the construction inspection for that work. So we can ensure the concrete is, tested appropriately, the contractor is doing per the specs.
And GAC is granular activated carbon. It's a filter medium, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So many acronyms.
We work in acronyms, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People might be like, what's a GAC?
Move for approval.
All right,
Seconded.
all right. Any discussion? Further discussion? All right.
I do, I have a question. So when we first put this in, was that mechanism, that mezzanine, not something that was widely used, so we didn't think about it? And now that we've kind of had some issues and we can't reach them, now we realize we need them, and now they're something that people use widely? What?
It's literally a physical structure that
Right.
helps us go and manually
That's
address
almost like
that.
scaffolding is
Yeah,
what I
It's like the
imagine.
concrete
Yeah.
platform, yeah.
Yeah, so I think before the thought was you'd just be able to rely on the automated element.
Right.
But we want the additional ability to manually go, turn it on or off.
I like that
So
idea.
that's what that does for us.
So we looked at having having like scaffolding. We talked with Brad Wilson as well to see if we could, kind of get something up there. We looked at like the window washer things where they pull themselves up. But while that seems safe to look at it, it's not really safe to pull this, 1,000, pound valves off of, steel valves off. So that's why we're erecting
Yeah.
something that's a little bit more stable.
All right.
Okay.
All in favor? Alderman Hanson?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Berger, yes. All right, do we have, Jonathan, do we have any updates on the capital project dashboard?
Don't know that I have anything specific, but I'll just answer any questions you may have.
Are we ready to, is the developer, Southstar, going to do Liberty Pike soon then after we get all this done? I mean, how long is this gonna take us? We're gonna have to relocate, they're gonna relocate this water main, but are they starting soon?
I do not have details on that specific one.
Okay,
Let's talk about Franklin Road. Let's give an update on where that
I
stands.
can give the details that I do know. So we're still obviously, the weather's been a hindrance right now. But it is pretty typical for us to have quite a bit of wet weather in December.
Crazy.
That's what's holding back the work right now, is you see the base stone out there. They're still doing what they can with regard to sidewalk and getting street light bases and street lights put up. They're actually installing landscaping now, so they're doing the work they can with the rain going on right now. But every few days, we're getting more and more rain. So it's hindering them getting the stone put in to get that stone base. We have to let that dry out before we can do paving. So that's what's holding them back significantly right now. We've told the contractor in our meetings that we still want to do everything possible that we can do to get those crews in there to get as much pavement as we can before most of the plant shut down for the holiday season and into the winter, knowing that the current plan that we've been given by the contractor still shows them doing paving into January and as they can. It is possible, and we know that we can do that. So that's still the plan, is to pave as soon as we can, and we've told them at all costs, get in there and get in there and do it. It's just right now, we can't get in there and put any more stone down, because right now, anything,
It's so wet.
if we don't let it dry out, even trying to get it done and rushing to get it done, you're just gonna make a bigger mess. Or you can get it done, and in 6 months, we're gonna have a mess out there and be digging it up. So we're not really accomplishing.
But regardless, we're gonna wait on a top coat, right?
That's what I was-
Yes.
Yeah, our goal is to get the binder down. It'll work. People will mark it, everything.
Yeah, it'll have
It'll be very
temporary
functional, but getting the final coat down won't happen till the spring. But get the binder down before, our goal is to get the binder down before everything shuts down.
Yes.
And then come back in the spring and do final coat. That seems like the most
With eyes
realistic.
on knowing that there are plants that do stay open. So Vulcan Materials is our subcontractor
Yeah.
that's doing our actual paving out there. And they're one of the operators that do keep a plant open. So if we can, and knowing, it all depends on which jobs are running, and which contracts are, how big they are. There's a lot of little pieces that go into which jobs get their mix and how big the jobs are and who's in front of the line. We're doing everything we can to, if there's timing and if there's opportunity, we want to be kind of first in line to be able to get that mix put down. So to say, worst case scenario, we wait until spring to put that top down. If there's opportunity to get that done sooner, we have told the contractor, and we want you to know that we already have told everybody that we want to be that first in line to get it done sooner if we can, because everybody's waited long enough for this thing. We know everybody's frustrated.
Hey,
We
we're
wanna
still
get it
way
done.
ahead of Brentwood.
Well, Well, I don't know that that's, we certainly don't want to be, we don't want to use that as our yardstick. And that's not to say anything.
Or
bad.
Bradley
They-
Parkway.
They have their reasons,
Tito,
so.
yeah.
I'm sure they're ready to be done with that work too.
They
Yes.
are. And certainly they have their own.
They're ready to
struggle
move on
there,
to
so.
And they have, yeah, specific
They have-
incentives to
they
get
have-
that done.
They have their specific issues that they're dealing with as well, so I know they're wanting to get that one done as well. But yeah, we're doing everything we can to go ahead and get that one wrapped up as soon as we can, knowing that there are some opportunities that present themselves, and we're trying to take advantage of those when they present themselves.
It's starting to look amazing.
And
Yeah.
you're starting to see pieces and
Yeah.
parts of it come together and to see what it will look like. We desperately want to deliver that project and get to the end result of getting a finished product.
I know we're doing a little bit of work on, just right inside of Lancaster on their little island right there and stuff. Only thing I wish I would have thought about, and I've just noticed it now when you pull up at Liberty, is we did those really great street lights, but then right inside Miles Manor is like an old pole and light. But it would have been nice to just go 10 feet in to kind of make that entrance line up a little bit, get a nice street light on that light as well. I mean, it's a nominal thing, but well, probably not by cost, but it's one of those things that you just kind of pull up there and you're like, wow, this is all looking beautiful, and then right behind it is old, sort of post and all that,
Well,
but,
that goes along with all those utility boxes they put on. There are 21 of them.
Yep.
right.
All right, anything else?
No. good.
All right,
There are some things, just to touch on, there's a number of parks projects that are really on the cusp in terms of bidding in the first part of next year, just to kind of touch on that. We've got Bicentennial Park, we've got the first phase of the Southeast Park, all kind of,
Well, and Robinson
Gearing
Lake
up and-
actually is
and
out. in
the
the
Robinson
paper.
Lake-
It was advertised today, so Robinson Lake is actually out for bid as of today, so that'll be, it's due for bids, I want to say the second week of January. I'm going to have the exact date off the top of my head, but I want to say second week of January because the bids are due, so that was actually out for
Yeah.
bids.
and of course, a month ago, you awarded the pedestrian bridge and trail project to connect at Harlandale.
And we're working to get that pre-con set up, so first part of the year, we'll actually start construction on that one as well.
So you
That's
got a
about
lot
15
of
project.
parks projects on the horizon, which is
Love
great.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I mentioned last month, but the Southeast Park Bridge did actually win an ACEC.
No, you did not.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
American Council of Engineering Companies, so the actual organization that, for the engineering consultants, it actually did win in the structural category, large structural category, actually won the grand award in its category. So, a month and a half ago, it actually
It's
won
awesome.
the award.
It's like winning the bridge Oscars.
where's your
So
where's your
once the
trophy?
award, it's over in.
Where's your
engineering department.
trophy?
Still sitting on the foam pad, so.
All right, anything else? All right, to have a motion for
Motion to adjourn.
adjourn?
Second?
All right, all in favor, Alderman Hanson,
Yes.
Alderman Blanton, Alderman Brown, Alderman
Yes.
Berger, yes, thank you very much.